Armor's up, everyone! What's going on, everyone? Towley here. The public has spoken. Death Knights are next. We're doing our ongoing coverage here of the Artifact Traits Calculator. Once again, thank you to the guys and gals at MMO Champion for hooking it up with this wonderful calculator that we can all publicly look at and view, and they've done a great job, as well as other websites like Wowhead and so forth, you know, with all this coverage. But you know, those comments you guys are making, they matter. They matter. So, you know, I think DK won during the Druid video. So now it's time to look at Death Knights. Now, I'm kind of excited for the Blood DK, this expansion. Lots of shit's going down with them, especially with like the Universal Rune change they made, where everything's just a death rune. You know, it's a lot less tedious, less of that crazy management of all of the what is it called, the you know, the runes before blood, death, you know, unholy rune, whatever. So we're gonna get right into Blood DK. So once again, when you're looking at the your artifact weapon, this is the Maw of the Damned, great looking weapon. Kind of excited. You will start with the artifact. That is artifact trait. That's what is that? The fuck is that? Like a yelling squirrel? I'm trying to figure that. It's like a little squirrel going. All right. So we start here in the middle with the solid gold circle around the trait. You start with consumption. Now some of these are going to be ridiculous. So once again, this is all not final. None of this might even make it live. I mean, hopefully the talent traits or the artifact traits make it live, but some of these talents or traits are all going to get changed up. The numbers, there's no numerical values there. We don't even know what they are. So keep that in mind. Consumption focuses dark power into a strike that deals a certain percentage of weapon damage as physical damage and heals you for a certain percentage of all damage taken in the last couple of seconds. Minimum of a certain percentage of maximum health. That just seems like Death Strike, honestly. Did they just put Death Strike into some sort of weird? Maybe it's just a you know just to place it there for now. Vampiric Fangs, let's triple that up. Increases the maximum hit points granted by vampiric blood by an additional certain percentage and increases healing received by an additional certain percentage. Cooldown's getting buffed, boys. Dance of Darkness increases the duration of your dancing rune weapon by 12 seconds. Now that is pretty impressive. That's really significant, I believe. Iron Heart increases your armor by 13%. Give him the main tank position for every guild. Why won't you, Blizzard? Grim Fortitude reduces the damage you take by 13%. Meat Shield increases your stamina by 13%. All-consuming Rot increases the damage of your death and decay by 10,000%. 20,000%. Okay. Touch of the Grave. Death Coil heals you for a certain percentage of damage dealt. Just obviously, this is a bug. There's no way. I think it's just supposed to say 20%. They just started adding zeros just to be funny or something. So just ignore that. Death Coil heals you for a certain percentage of damage dealt. Marrow Rend generates an additional charge of Bone Shield. That's going to be pretty cool. Let's go over here. Bone Breaker increases the damage of your Marrow Rend by 20%. Coagulopathy. I think I said that right. Increases the damage dealt by your Blood Plague by 40%. That's big, because Blood Plague is your only disease is blood, and that's going to matter. Mouth of Hell. Your dancing rune weapon summons a second copy of Maw of the Damned. I wonder if it summons a second copy and then does the damage, because then that kind of relates to the dancing rune weapon lasting longer. So, yeah. Vein Render increases the damage dealt by your Blood Strike by 40%. Also, don't forget your Blood Strike also applies to Blood Plague, so it looks like the whole Blood Strike is going to be one of your, you know, numero uno abilities alongside that Death Strike timing. Let's look at the major traits once you've connected all the lines here, dots, lines, whatever. Umbilicus Eternus. I actually looked up umbilicus in dictionary.com, and it actually is, in fact, a word. I didn't even know umbilicus was a word. When you vampiric blood each target with Blood Plague, the disease begins to bleed into a sphere. After your vampiric blood expires, the sphere congeal into a shield surrounding you, which reduces damage by 20% and absorbs 5 times as much damage as was dealt. So that's kind of crazy. I'm telling you, man, it's like all these little major traits that we need weak auras from. I keep stressing this so much during all these videos is that we're going to need so many goddamn weak auras. It's going to be sick. Our whole screen is going to just, it's just going to be like weak auras popping up for all these different traits. Unending Thirst, which is not yet implemented. When your blood shield expires, deal damage equal to half your missing health to your enemy target. Gain health equal to the damage you deal. And then Skeletal Shattering, which is also not yet implemented. Your Bone Shield now has a chance equal to your critical strike chance to prevent 50% damage on a hit. So whatever your, critical strike chance, maybe crit actually matters now. I think we covered everything for blood. So let me know what you guys think about blood. I mean, blood looks pretty strong. I mean, you got your armor buff, your health buff, your death strike buff, your plague diseases or blood plague diseases buff, your blood strike is buff. Looks like every vampiric blood is going to be like a major cooldown now with like most of these traits. Blood decays. That's why I'm re-rolling literally every tank this expansion. I swear to God. All right, Frost decays. You have the Blades of the Fallen Prince, which are the dual blades that you have to go to Icecrown and retrieve the shards of Frostmourne from Bolvar, the Lava Man himself. Excuse me while I drink some water. Talk like a dry mouth. All right. We're going to start in the upper left-hand corner here with Sindragosa's Fury. Instant. She's pissed. Let's go to the next one. Blast Radius. It increases the damage dealt by your Howling Blast by 40%. Smell of the Roses. Death and Decay deals 20% more damage and lasts a certain percentage longer on the ground, which also will increase, I believe, AoE damage, unless I'm just thinking blood decays, whatever. Ambidexterity increases offhand damage dealt by Frost Strike and Obliterate by 40%. Chill of the Grave, increase the range of your Frost Strike by a certain amount of yards. Ice in Your Veins increases the healing of Death Strike by 200% while Icebound Fortitude is active. There we go. And also, just a quick note, with all these abilities, I'm going to look at my Twitter really quick because I believe that the dev account on Twitter for Blizzard mentioned something with the traits today. Let me see if I can find that really quick. I want to interrupt the middle of this video if it was something stupid. Yeah, they tweeted out, Warcraft devs, artifact traits will work in all PvP situations. Okay? If a particular trait is problematic, we will address it. So something crazy like, your Death Strike heals for 400% more while your Icebound Fortitude is active. That's something that I'm not sure if PvP is going to matter, or maybe it's OP. I don't know. But keep that in mind. Artifacts will work in PvP. But PvP talents will not work in PvE. I'm gassy, I just ate. Frozen Skin reduces the damage you take by 13%. Cold as Ice. Darkness. Increases your frost damage dealt by 13%. Nothing But the Boots increases the critical strike damage of Obliterate by 40%. Mirror Ball, Anti-Magic Shell now clears debuffs when activated. That might be problematic. Frozen Core with a weird tongue icon. While Pillar of Frost is active, enemies that attack you are automatically ensnared in chains of ice. The Sound of Inevitability. Your active diseases have a chance to trigger runic empowerment. Wow, this is getting good. Bad to the bone. Bad. Increases the effectiveness of your Razor Ice Runeforge by 125%, which I believe is the enchant that you get, right? When you go to the little thing in that little thing in the sky. Something. Overpowered. Your Obliterate has a chance to generate 13 more runic power. I like how we're reading these Frost Death Knight DPS traits, and all of them just seem so powerful. And then at the end, you just have an ability called Overpowered. All right, let's look at your major traits. Let's start with Hypothermia. Every periodic tick of Frost Fever, which is the Frost Death Knight's only disease, deals 10% more damage for every tick. Crystalline Swords, or Crystalline Swords, could be anyone, I don't know how to pronounce that right, I should look that up. As you attack, icy copies of Icebringer and Frost Reaper begin to float beside you. When you trigger Soul Blade, the icy blades are unleashed and pierce their foe. I think that's their mistake. Frozen Soul. When Remorseless Winter expires, which is like the little AoE ice you do and then it stuns everyone. A burst of frost damage is released. Damage is increased with each enemy hit during Remorseless Winter. That's awesome. That just seems like some sort of like Lich Dota 2 bouncy thing. And that's Frost Death Knight. I mean, some notables here, man. There's a lot. The Howling Blast, the clearing your debuffs when you activate AMS, the 400% Death Strike while you have IBF available or up. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit right now. Now, Unholy. Here we go. We have the Apocalypse weapon. We're going to start in the middle here with Unholy. I'm sure a lot of people are going to... Now, this... I don't know. Fuck it. Whatever. Fuck it. Just fuck it. Fuck it. Everyone just leave in the comments on YouTube. Just fuck it. Fuck it, Unholy. And you will know us by the Trail of Our Dead. Your attacks have a chance to summon an army of the dead. I hope y'all have good video cards for this expansion, let me tell you, because I think you must need at least a 660 and above. Because just between Demonology and Unholy, I'm looking at like 90 million ghouls walking around. That has to have a percentage on it. I don't know. Let's just continue. Rotten Touch increases the improved damage generated by Festering Strike by 125%. Unholy Endurance reduces the damage you take from area of effect effects by 20%, which is the first time I've actually seen that, I think, on any of the specs, where there's a talent, or a trait, excuse me, where you take area of effect damage reduced. It's the first time I've seen that one. Gravitational Pull. Enemies you death grip are rooted for 6 seconds. Deadly Durability reduces the damage you take by 13%. Deadliest Coil increases the damage and healing of your death coil by 20%. Unholiest of the Unholies increases the damage of your Unholy Blight by 20%. Runic Tattoos increases your maximum runic power by a certain amount and runic generation by a certain percentage. We don't know what that number is yet. Armies of the Dead. Ghouls summoned by Army of the Dead now apply additional effects when using their claws. So basically you just summon a bunch of fucking 100 ghouls and then they have additional abilities. And Scourge of the Unbeliever. Your Scourge Strike has a 40% chance to refund a rune. Fucking hell. Portal to the Underworld. This one's really... This one is great. Enemies attempting to leave your death and decay are death gripped back to the center. And, okay, that's the wrong spec where it lasts longer. But that's still amazing. That's kind of like... I mean... I know, I think, what is it, Druids have that ability where you put, like, the little tornado and they try to run out and they get sucked back in. I'm thinking of maybe, what's that, there's the Butcher in Heroes of the Storm, and he puts down the little chains and they're trying to get out, but they can't, they're like... Anyway, that's a pretty good ability. I mean, that definitely seems like a PvP kind of thing. Kind of like a mechanic to allow you to peel off of, like, a healer or something. Or to peel for your healer. The Darkest Crusade. It increases the effect of your Fallen Crusader by 125%. Let's take a look at the major traits now. Double Doom. Sudden Doom grants you 2 free death coils. The Shambler. Your attacks have a chance to summon a super zombie that shambles forward and explodes. So we basically have fucking just a zombie that walks kind of like, you know, Serious Sam style. They just like run at you and they fucking explode. Flagellation. Death Coil applies a debuff that increases Scourge Strike damage by 50%. Another weak aura you have to put up. That's Death Knight, folks. I mean, we've covered so far 3, Mage, Druid, and DK. And so far, DK seems to be like the most powerful of the traits, just from these 3. But once again, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know which class you want to see next. Once again, we're done with Mages, Druids, and Death Knights. If I were to make some suggestions, I would highly suggest Paladin is pretty cool. Warlocks are also pretty cool. Warrior is actually amazing with when you have, like, you know, what is his name? Odin slamming down as part of your traits. It's going to be pretty badass. But yeah, I mean, so far right now, those talents under Frost and Unholy are insane. Blood DK is just like Vampiric Blood is going to be such a powerful cooldown for them now. And Frost with the IBF, 400% more Death Strike. Once again, those numbers aren't final, but if they go with that, it's going to be problematic, as they said in that Twitter message. So thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate all the support lately through the YouTubes. I'm loving it. I'm actually, you know, getting back to that groove. I know back in the TGN days, I used to make like 4 videos per day, but I think every day just making one nice video. Just me talking to the YouTube community, and just, you know, I've been constantly actually responding to comments, deleting all the negative ones and all that shit, because some people are just being plain stupid. It's the internet. Catch me on twitch.tv/Towley. Follow me on twitter.com/TowlTheTank. I will see you guys for the next video. I think I might be uploading a bit more of those like vanilla videos I have. I think I have 2 more that I can upload. They're corny, but it's kind of cool to see like my me using Titan, what is it, Titan panel, and you know I have like 200 gold, which was like amazing back then. You know what I'm saying? Night Elf dancing.